Hey ladies, and good morning. My name's Heather Petherick and I'm the Veteran Success Coach for female business leaders of style, wit, and substance. And all this week we're talking about the lonely leader syndrome, the 4 phases of the sneaky sickness that plagues especially talented and big thinking female entrepreneurs and business leaders. Earlier this week, I talked to you about phase 1 and 2, or stage 1 and 2. Stage 1 of the lonely leader syndrome is where you start to ante up. You invest in your business, accept an exciting new promotion, or in some way step up to bigger goals. And that first phase is called anteing up, how you are excited, you're nervous, but you're really excited to go to the next level. And phase 2 of the lonely leader syndrome is the OMG phase, where the weight of what you have committed starts to really settle in and you start to isolate, almost protect from other sources of information, community, maybe old colleagues that you have outgrown. Today we're talking about phase 3 of this sneaky sickness and how it can cripple your success as a female business leader, whether you're in the corporate environment or whether you are an entrepreneur growing your own empire. But before I talk about this third phase of the lonely leader syndrome, which is called the deep freeze, which given mid-February in the Northern Hemisphere seems very poignant to be talking about. This third phase of the lonely leader syndrome is called the deep freeze, and I'm going to explain what that is. But first, if you've missed the first 2 videos, I want to backtrack a little bit and bring you up to speed on what the lonely leader syndrome really is. As I said, it plagues especially talented and naturally talented and well-educated women in positions of leadership and authority. You know, and do you ever feel like you're kind of a black sheep or the outsider, that no one truly gets you, or they don't understand your vision, your ambition, and what continues to motivate you? If that resonates with you, I'd love for you to post a 1 in the comments below. As a lonely leader, that typically is the MO. We often feel like we're kind of on the outside of the majority of people, and it's true. As a woman who is a leader, a specialist, an expert, or an entrepreneur in your industry, you have relatively few peers, and not everyone thinks the way that you are. That's what has made you a leader, is an ability to think differently, self-motivate, and point the way for others. So it's not your fault that you feel like an outsider, or that other people don't get you, or you naturally don't have throngs of best friends, because that's just the way it is as a lonely leader. You are unique, you think differently, and so quite naturally, you're going to have fewer peers that will relate to you. Now, because of this, it makes you incredibly susceptible to becoming a lonely leader. You know, I often talk about it's the paradox of leadership, that just when you need the most support, the most guidance, and the most inspiration, it is the precise moment when you are apt to have the least as a leader. Why? Because as a lonely leader, there is a tendency to want to put on the mask of, I got this, it's all under control, things are great, even if, quite honestly, you're scrambling under the surface. There's also a tendency to isolate because you want to protect your ideas. You know, as a corporate leader or as an entrepreneur that's pointing the way for others, people do naturally look to you for inspiration, direction, and taking action. In some ways, you are the one that is making those decisions and pointing the way. And there's often a real reluctance, and rightly so. There is a danger in showing any uncertainty or any worry or anxiety as you are leading the way for others. And so there is this tendency to put on a mask, try to control everything, and heap all of it on yourself. There's also a tendency to protect against the input or inspiration from other people, as you don't want to be, you are a leader of integrity and authenticity. You don't want to be accused of copying someone else's ideas or plagiarizing someone else's strategy. And so often, in an effort to stay creative and stay authentic, you do isolate. You cut yourself off from other sources of inspiration and ideas. So all of these natural circumstances and well-meaning intentions pile on just at the moment when you need the most support and inspiration. And that's what really comes crashing down in this third phase of the lonely leader syndrome, what I call the deep freeze, when you truly start to really isolate. Maybe you've let go of networks, mentors, or coaches that you have outgrown at this phase, and you're going to the next level. But with all of the responsibilities and obligations that you now have at this new level of leadership, it's often a full-time job to start to find where are the next sources of community and inspiration for you and support. With all that you have on your plate, doing what you're there to do, it can be one more thing that falls off the side of your desk to find next level mentorship, next level community, and next level strategies to support you. That's what creates the deep freeze, this stage 3 of the lonely leader syndrome. And if that resonates with you, I'd love for you to share and just post a 2 in the comments below if you feel like you are a lonely leader and you have experienced or are currently in the deep freeze of this sneaky sickness that plagues female business leaders. So what do you do about this? If you see yourself headed for or currently hanging out in the deep freeze of the lonely leader syndrome, know that yes, it is going to be even more difficult at this new level of leadership and authority and expertise to find the caliber of people that are truly going to be able to support, inspire, and keep you accountable. It's going to be even more challenging to find that secret garden of success, those business besties that have your back and that have let go of lower level drama and small thinking. It is going to be more difficult, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. In fact, the opportunity you have right now is to take a look at a community that I have lovingly created over the last many years and developed a reputation for attracting precisely your kind of leader. Other women who are up to big things, that have left behind low-level complainers, blamers, and victims, and who are truly stepping up to a new level of leadership, authority, and impact. If that sounds like you and you are craving a community that truly does get you, that is a high caliber sisterhood of women who are going for it and make no excuses or apology, but are still very humble and heart-centered, then I invite you to take a look at what is called the Unshakable Business Leader Program. It is a private coaching and mastermind opportunity for an elite group of business women who are well established in their industry and level of expertise and are looking at taking it to the next level, but know that they don't have a lot of peers in their community that get what they're up to. So if that's of interest to you, I will drop a link below this video and let you know where you can get more information. As I said, it is only open to those women who are truly proven and established in their business and are looking at going to the next level of income and impact. So take out an application and we'll get on a call to see if it's truly a fit for you. No strings, no sweat, no obligation. Truly just an opportunity to see if we are a fit together to help you develop your next level of income and impact in 2019. So that's a wrap for today, phase 3 of the lonely leader syndrome. I'd love for you to post your comments and questions below. In fact, even reach out to me if this resonates and you'd love to have a private conversation about what the experience is like for you and if we're a fit. So wrap up. First stage of the lonely leader is that initial anteing up phase of committing to going to the next level. Second stage of the lonely leader syndrome is the, oh my God, what have I done? And the weight of that new level of impact and responsibility starts to settle in. The third of 4 phases is what I've talked about today, the deep freeze, where you truly start to or truly feel cut off from old sources of inspiration and support because you've outgrown them, but have not yet found that new tribe of support, community, and accountability. That's the deep freeze. And the difficulty in this stage is that unless you get plugged into that next level community, coaching, and mentorship, you risk loss of reputation, loss of income, loss of the vision, the confidence, and the dreams that you have for your business. So there is, unfortunately, a lot at stake at this third phase of the lonely leader syndrome. So check it out. If this interests you, I'll drop a link below of where you can get more information, and you and I can talk personally about whether the Unshakable Business Leader Program is a fit for you this year. Thanks, ladies, for joining me again. And tomorrow is our last video where I talk about phase 4 of the lonely leader syndrome, the sneaky sickness that plagues especially talented, well-educated, and successful women. Thanks for joining me today. Talk to you tomorrow.